Everybody, it's Ryan1940, and here today we are taking a look at Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 and Miltech Simulations, Blackbird Simulations A-1 Skyraider. We are off the coast of San Diego. That's CV59. I think that's made by IndiaFoxtEcho. I'm not quite sure, sorry. I've got too many carrier add-ons, it's hard to keep track. I think back there in the distance somewhere is a Nimitz from the Miltech Simulations Carrier Pro add-on. So let's take a look here. We're going to try and land this thing, and I'll go show you some of the other things about this aircraft. I got it from the Contrail store, and it actually does have weapons, which is really neat. I'm not sure if the marketplace version has it, but I'll show you the weapons use and stuff a little further on in this video. For now, we're going to see if we can land the damn thing. It's got a working hook. It will catch the cable, it just won't decelerate us. We'll have to do that ourselves manually. It's just a matter of getting the damn thing to cut the throttle just right so you're able to land fully. This thing doesn't have any sort of on-speed indicator, so you're kind of just guessing. Alright, we're going to cut it. You can see we caught the wire there. Hold the brakes. So yeah, that's pretty neat. That actually is functioning right, and I don't think that these were made to be compatible with each other, so props to them. Yeah, you put the hook back up, the resting gear goes back. And I don't know how to launch this thing, so I guess we'll just stop it there. Let's get in the air with actual... Well, actually, before we depart... I think this sort of plane would have had the Birdie system. Don't know the word for it, but yeah, it would have been the cable thing to launch you on the cat shuttle there. Well, let's see if we can get underway with full power. This thing is bouncing. All right, she's revved up. Oh, freaking hell, we did it. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, I love that. Yeah, just this model is beautiful, the sounds are amazing, and the weathering on this, just like the other Miltech aircraft, I'm a big fan of. I like aircraft to look like they've been worked in. They've been on the elements, they've been on deployment, especially for military aircraft. This just looks beautiful. Okay, anyways, let's go talk about the weapon stuff, and then we'll load it up somewhere else where we can actually drop them. So if you're landed on the ground, you can actually pull this table out. There's a little loadout button here, and that's all you gotta do. You just kind of click on these and you can pick your loadout. So well, we'll pick this up when we're at we'll go to Miramar and load up there. Alright, we're coming into Miramar. This is by LatinVFR, and it is one of my favorites. I really love getting all the San Diego sceneries that are out there. I've got the LatinVFR K-San scenery over there at Lindbergh International Airport. It's a little dated now because there's a new Terminal 1, and even there's also another K-San add-on that I don't use because it kind of ruins how some of the city looks, and LatinVFR's K-San scenery adds some nice touches to the San Diego skyline nearby, so go with that. This one's really neat. You can see the mini LHA deck over there for training. We're kind of blowing past this thing here. Let's we have gigantic speed brakes. I'll take an exterior look here. Look how huge those things are. Gear down, flaps full. That's the 15 freeway. I drive past that quite a bit coming home sometimes. And I get to see all the cool airplanes that land at Miramar. I'm really lucky. Alright, you gotta be careful in this plane. If you got the parking brakes on, once you land, your wheels will be chocked and you will tip over and bend your props, and we don't want that. So, oh, got some birds. That's another great add-on. Forgot who makes it, but it just adds life to all these airports, which I really like. There we go. I think we're down. Alright. Ease up on the brakes. Okay, so what we'll do is when we come to a stop, we'll pull out the loadout editor and we'll just add some bombs and stuff, and I'll show you how to use those things. Alright, so we can go flaps up. Okay, so this is unlike a lot of other aircraft. You kind of have to adjust the loadout weights in previous, well, I guess in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, maybe it's a feature now with 24, but at least with this aircraft you can just click on these things and select what you want. You don't have to go into the actual aircraft loadout to change the weights, and they would automatically make the weapon show up, so it's fairly simple. Say we want to do a Mark 84, do the center line. It kind of shows you where those bombs can go. Let's do some Mark 83s on these pylons here, and as we do them, they're loaded instantly. That's really nice. Okay. Now this is me getting this from Contrail. I don't know if this is available on the Microsoft Flight Sim Store version. If somebody knows, please leave a comment. So we can do some Mark 82s. We got some Snake Eyes. Unfortunately, with the Snake Eyes, they don't retard. So let's put a couple on. That's too bad. They just fall normally. So get some rockets. Oh, we get the toilet bomb, of course. People have asked about that. That is in this add-on. You can place it right there and you can drop it. Let's do some HVRs. Mile 68. Okay, so yeah, that's our loadout. And there's that toilet. That's so cool. That's a great touch. Okay, so you got your loadout. Let's go ahead and take off. Turn our parking brake off. That's the chocks, of course, there. Let's go flaps one notch. So if you wanted GPS, I think there's a little hidden button there. There we go. Yeah, if you own it, you can get that GPS on there. And then you can also hide the gun sight. Some of the other versions of the Skyraider, remember I told you we've got the, was it the AW83? Hold on. Yeah, 83W and then the 84W. Those don't have gun sights. They're more of like an electronic warfare, early warning radar aircraft. All right, we're underway. Look at the beautiful model here. A beautiful toilet. It's modeled in great detail. Okay, so you got to be careful with the engine management on this. You can blow your engine if you're pulling it too hard. So ideally get up to where you need to be and then dial back the RPM for the prop and the mixture and the throttle. Alright, so there's no real armed or live ordnance ranges in San Diego County, obviously. There's a place called Chocolate Mountain out in the desert. We're not going to fly all the way out there, but we'll just bomb a patch over here just to demonstrate how this stuff works. Alright, so let's say you are all set up. First off, oh, you know what? I don't know. Shoot. I didn't put the guns in. Okay, if I did, you just turn these guns on here. And let's turn on the master arm as well. We'll see if this works with 0 ammo. No, it doesn't work. Okay. So, yeah. If you want guns, remember to load it here. And then master arm on. You can set these to ready, and then you're good to go. You just pull the trigger. There's some stuff you have to set. You got to use the manual. It tells you what keybinds to set for the missiles and bombs and guns. But yeah, it's too bad. The guns don't have any effect on the terrain or anything. They don't have splashes. They just, you can see them firing from those cannons there. The next one we want to do is a bomb. So let's go to our station. That's fine. Master arms on. We'll put this inboard station down to bombs, or an outboard stations down to bombs. So we're just gonna cycle through some of the bombs. Nose and tail is the arming thing, so that's good. Set that to bomb, and then switch on whatever station you want to drop. So say we want to drop the Mark 84, that big old bomb right there. Now that I've got them armed, if I just press the oh yeah, right. Set the outboard to off, inboard on. There we go. It should drop. There we go. Yeah, I was turning on everything so you can just kind of pickle through them all, but yeah, I was going through the outboard stations first and going back to the inboard. So now, if I want to drop, if you have all of them on, it doesn't hurt. You're just not going to be able to drop the particular bomb that you want. So these left board and right inboard stations are going to drop the Mark 83s here. So 1 and then 2. And then now we can go back out to the outboard, so we'll turn these guys off. Now let's turn the inboard station off and then set that to bomb. Okay, so remember these are the snake eyes, so if I drop them, they fall out and they don't really retard. They don't slow down or anything. And you can see the smoke down there. That's actually from us bombing. So we got one more bomb we'll drop here. Alright, let's say I wanted to bomb this overpass here. What is this? Miramar? Yeah, it's Miramar Road, Pomerado Road. On the left side, and Miramar Road's that way. So, drop the bomb. You can see it going. See how accurate we were. Oh, close. Didn't hit the bridge, but overpass. But you see it's smoking, so you kind of get feedback, which is really nice. Okay, now let's do rockets. So similar thing, but we want to do the outboard stations. Got our rockets on there. Switch that up to rockets. I think that's all we have to do. Yeah, release. I think this is just for dropping stuff. I don't think it matters for the rockets. Okay, and then there's a little bit of trajectory to them, so you kind of got to get a feel for what the rocket's doing. So, see it kind of drop off there. And so it does leave a crater and it leaves smoke, so you can see how you're hitting. Obviously, you can't destroy the terrain here, but that's pretty freaking neat, right? You get to see what you're doing in the game world. I think that this stuff isn't synced in multiplayer, so like you wouldn't see your friends doing this. It's just you using it, and that's it. But yeah, so we can fire off all the other rockets to see if they see them just disappear there. I mean, this is just, it makes me wish that we had a combat flight sim, Microsoft, old school sort of Microsoft combat flight sim like we used to have in the 90s. That was pretty freaking awesome. Especially with this engine, just seeing the game world. Oh man, if we could actually drop bombs and stuff against targets, that'd be issue. Yeah, this issue has been on and off every time I've been trying to record. It just keeps popping up. It's annoying. Sorry. Live traffic kind of goes away and comes back. Whatever. Yeah, the rockets. So they're actually kind of detailed. You can see there in that pod. They will disappear, and when they fly out. So it's not perfect. You can see when the bombs are dropping that they kind of pop up sometimes over the wing and come down, but what are you gonna do? I mean, this game wasn't meant for it, and it's just a great little extra bit that team at Miltech and Blackbird Simulations put into this aircraft. It's really super cool that you can drop ordnance, and it leaves a mark on the land. I'm just blown away by that. That's super neat. So yeah, you can do some fake combat missions and stuff like that, and maybe do like a fake combat search and rescue mission with your buddies if someone's flying a helicopter, and you can play as a Sandy and escort them over some hostile terrain. So yeah, I'll show you some clips here of the 83W. I keep saying 80W, 83W and 84W. So those guys each have 2 liveries. Really neat looking aircraft there for early warning radar. I prefer obviously the Navy A-1H Skyraiders. It's really neat. The predecessor for the Skyraider, or yeah, I think it was the AD-1 or something like that. That was going to be like the next gen strike aircraft for the U.S. Navy if World War II continued on. So you can see where those dive brakes come from, because they were there was a need to dive down on the Japanese ships and blow them to bits. And so you got those huge dive brakes to help you do it, and the huge bomb load that this plane could have carried. Just amazing. So it's a good thing I guess the war ended. You didn't get to see them in action. But had the war gone on, we would have seen Skyraiders just absolutely demolishing the rest of the Japanese fleet. So yeah, this is Miltech Simulations, Blackbird Simulations Skyraider. Oh, of course, that stupid live traffic thing. Yeah, chain of thought was destroyed by that. Thanks. Miltech Simulations, Blackbird Simulations, Skyraider. Go ahead and pick it up. I think it's like, oh geez, $20 or something like that. 20. I think I bought it for $20. Maybe it was on sale. But I think it's worth it. The flight model is, it's believable to me. You can do some crazy things with it. See the stall here. And I've done some low-speed stalls, and it'll snap over. Yeah, when you do some low-speed stalls, and it'll snap roll to like the left, and throw you in the water if you're really close. So you gotta be careful when you're approaching the carrier like we were doing. But yeah, neat little airplane. Of course, another winner for Miltech Simulations. I'm excited. Keep saying this. I want to see the CH-53 that they're working on come to life, because I'm going to fly it right out of Miramar, because I see them every day flying around Miramar. That'll be super neat to be able to do that in game. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. See you next one. Bye.